So, so there is so much that none of us know about what's going on in the lives of Indigenous peoples, full stop, before we bring in the realities of a pandemic. And the pandemic has been, I think, so all-consuming for so many of us where we are, that in a way we've been incredibly centered on our own lives and what's going on. And actually what we need to be doing at this time is opening up and understanding the impact that it's having around the world, because so much of that is not actually being expressed.
What COVID has done is ripped the cover off of the people of the world not seeing what's happening to all the Indigenous people. The Navajo elders have said that COVID arose out of the ashes of the Australian bushfires. So bringing together that climate change, that destruction, that sense that, yes, we are all connected, and what is happening in other places affects us also. We are invisible. We are not being seen. If we can't be seen, we can't be heard. So see what is around you, hear what people are saying. We are all being called to do that work.
So join us in this fight. I think that it's a dark time, but it's also an opportunity to unite, to see ourselves as, part of a living earth, which is the Indigenous cosmology, to see ourselves as part of the living earth, of which, the Gaia the planet is alive as we know it, and the Amazon is a vital organ of the planet, and it's the heart and the lungs of the planet. It's a vital organ, and that we have to connect, as we connect with our own hearts, with the heart of the planet. We must address this pandemic. COVID is spreading, and in our territories, it's spreading fast. And in our territories, we have no means of resisting it. We don't have medicines. We don't have oxygen. We don't have, access to medical care even. Definitive medical care is very far. And we don't have the, we need to rise together to address this issue, because if not, it could become incredibly tragic. We could face basically extermination. We're all brothers and sisters. We're all united, and we all have the privilege and the important need to come together and unite and fight together.
I'm really hoping everybody here is fully letting in the reality that this pandemic is being held by the Indigenous peoples of these places as something that could seriously wipe them out. It's that serious. This is not something we can just go, oh, how interesting, I'm learning something about the Amazon. We cannot lose, not just these forests, the peoples of these forests hold the knowledge that is pretty much all that can bring humanity back from the edge of complete self-annihilation. Like, unless we protect these peoples who understand how to live in reciprocity, we're not just going to pluck that knowledge out of thin air. Like, it's embodied in these peoples. And I so hear you, Joe, when you talk about the elders, and it's desperately gutting to hear. And of course, it's the elders that are being wiped out, and they can't be. It's like, we have got to all just start putting our money where our mouth is and supporting the people who are on the front lines.
What the coronavirus has done is, if you step back and look at it, it's made us look at truth. It's made us have to see where the divisions are and where the places are that we've been blinded are. If you look at what has been said about the coronavirus, the fires move through the lungs of the earth, and now the coronavirus is moving through our lungs. She unplugged us, and when she plugs us back in, there will be a moment of recalibration that will go on, I have been told. And that recalibration is about bringing us all back to that original line with our Mother Earth. All nations unified and standing in that line with Mother Earth to listen to her instruction.
And I want to really focus on the importance of us coming together and talking about the alternatives that we have together. And at the moment, we are seeing that there's more focus on on the behalf of the government on how to continue deforestation and development in these areas, specifically in the indigenous lands and the reserves, the areas that should be protected. Because what is being thought and developed now from the economical standpoint and the political world
são pensamentos que não se sustentam mais.
are thoughts that no longer are sustainable,
São pensamentos de divisão,
are thoughts of division,
de competições,
of competition,
né, e de conflito.
and of conflict. This must be brought to everyone to awaken for all of humanity.
Porque a destruição dessas florestas, ela vai continuar trazendo um mal muito grande para a humanidade.
Because the destruction of these forests, of these rainforests, is going to continue bringing much destruction to humanity.
There is such gold in here in terms of just beginning to sort of break open so much of what is completely unknown and not understood by the masses that needs to become exposed and known and understood by the masses. Like, people need to understand the devastating hardships that tribes globally are going through before COVID hit, and not just to go into that narrow-minded place of, well, okay, we think maybe we're coming out of lockdown, maybe it's business as usual. Business as usual is killing our planet, full stop, and it is wiping out indigenous peoples worldwide, and it cannot be allowed to happen. And that means we cannot go back to sleep, we cannot go back to business as usual, we have to take action.